Hi everyone, Richard here with Repic Photo. In this video, I'm going to go over how to use the transform function in Lightroom. And if you like the video, please subscribe for more. Give me a thumbs up on social media. If you have any comments, questions, write them down below. And all right, let's get into it. Alright, so I have my photo in Lightroom. This is the photo that I'm going to be using for the video. I thought it was a good pick to use because you can see on the left hand side the perspective is definitely off. Also on the right hand side with the gray building, you could just, you see it's off. The windows, the edge of the windows is definitely way off. So I'm going to take this image, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the transform function in Lightroom, which is going to make these lines be a lot more straight. So we're going to straighten out these lines so they're nice and vertical and horizontal lines. I thought this was a good photo to use because of the lines that are in it. So in Lightroom, you want to get into the Develop tab up in the top right. So make sure you're in Develop. And I haven't made any other adjustments to this image, so we're going to go down to the bottom and we're going to go straight to the transform area. Well, actually what I did do is I did the lens correction. So before I started, I did do enable profile correction on my lens and remove chromatic aberration. I generally just do that all the time. It corrects for some distortions that the lens might have had when it took the photo. But the area that we want to focus on is the transform area right in here. There's a lot of different sliders, and then we have these buttons right over here above those sliders. So like off, transform is just going to give you your default image, and that's what this is here. The sliders you can play with, so you can kind of move, you can transform the image vertically. So if I kind of move that down and then up, you'll see it stretches vertically. Now to reset that, you just double click the word vertical and it'll go back to 0. So then there's horizontal, so that'll move it kind of like, that'll stretch things horizontally. We don't want to do that. We want to get back to our normal state. So here we are. So those sliders are going to stretch the image and squeeze it in all those different directions. The one that I want to focus on is auto and guided. Auto will try to straighten out the image by software. So when I click auto, it's going to process, and yeah, there you go. It's going to give me a pretty decent image. So it's straightened out the line here on the right hand side with the windows. You can see that they look a lot straighter. The distance from the edge of the photo to the lines here is pretty consistent all the way down. On the left hand side, same thing. The distance from the edge of the photo to this lighter colored building is the same throughout. So this has done a good job. What I want to do is I want to show you the guided feature. The guided feature will allow you to be a little bit more custom for your settings. So when you click the guided option, the first thing you need to do is draw a line. You need to draw 2 lines at least, a horizontal line and a vertical line. You could do 2 horizontal lines if you want, or 2 vertical lines. There's up to 4 lines that you can draw. And all you have to do is click the start point of where you're going to straighten your image. So I'm going to pick this line where the gray building is, and I'm going to trace that. So I go down to the bottom where the cursor is, and you'll get this zoom window to help you see a little bit better. So when I'm on that line, I click and I hold it, and then I drag up along the line, and that's going to draw a white line over the vertical line that I want. So I'm going to align my vertical line to this darker line within the gray building. So when I have the second point, I release the mouse, and it'll process. And it hasn't done anything because you do need at least 2 points for it to start calculating. So I have that line drawn there. I'm going to draw a horizontal line along the top part of this white building, or the lighter colored building. So So I'm going to go right at the corner, right there. I'm going to click and hold, and then I'm going to drag all the way over, and I need to get to my second point and release the mouse. So if I drag over here, I pick there, and I'll end it there, and I'll release, and now it's going to align to those two lines, the vertical line that I drew and the horizontal line. Right. So here we are. So it's adjusted the image so that it's straight, but you can see on the right hand side that we're still way off, right? So the left looks good. This kind of top portion looks pretty good. I'm going to draw one more vertical line to adjust or correct the perspective on the right hand side. So I start over here on the right hand side. I click and hold, drag down, and I'll stop right about here. I'll make sure that that's kind of on a good spot. And when I'm satisfied, I release. And now the right hand side of the image will be corrected. And it just takes a second to load. And there you have it. So the right hand side looks very straight. And I think I like that. So I have my two vertical lines, and then I have the horizontal line. So that's the guided feature. And then you can also further adjust from that point forward. So if I wanted to scale out, I can do that, but then you'll see like the cropping that it has done. And you can also click the constrain crop to remove any of that white cropping area automatically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There are some other things here. The level, if I click level, the image is going to try to level itself out. And there it is. It hasn't done a great job. Vertical, so here's where it's going to try to adjust on a vertical axis. So let's do that and zoom out. And then you can see that has done a good job on the left hand side, so that's nice and straight. The right hand side looks nice and straight. But the horizontal lines here, they look off still. I mean, they're not perfectly horizontal. And, maybe that's what you're looking for. So it all depends on the image that you're trying to project. Full is, I find this is similar to auto. So this will correct on the vertical and the horizontal axis. You can see it kind of cropped out a little bit of the image on the left hand side. So let's see the scale back. Okay, I'm going to use the constrain crop, scaled out a bit to correct that, and that's pretty much it. It did a good job. So look at the white on this lower left hand side bottom window. That edge of the window is very straight along the edge. The right hand side looks very straight, and the horizontal lines on this building look very straight. So that's all that I have for the transform features in Lightroom. This is a very useful tool, and I think you guys will find a lot of good uses for this tool, especially in architecture, taking a photo of a bridge, maybe in a panoramic photo. It might help straighten things out, but I find myself using this a lot. So, all right, there you have it.
All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you found this to be very useful. If you did like the video, please subscribe for more, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. All right, that's all for now. Get out there and enjoy photography.